With my experience and your ambitions, let's navigate the world of business, making informed choices and capitalizing on every opportunity. We responded to a recent query. What are the steps in selling a commercial property? Now, besides interviewing brokers and getting broker opinions of value, make sure that you and your family or your group of investors are in agreement about selling and about the price. This will help ensure when it comes to signing that listing agreement and closing documents that everyone's informed and that they show up. Understand your tax burden beyond the 1031 and be intentional about whether you'll pay tax or maybe you'll buy another property. You want to hire an attorney who closes deals and is not a goalie. I love attorneys. I grew up when I was in college. One of my first jobs was working with an attorney and I learned a ton. They're an important part of the process, but you want to make sure that they aren't roadblocks to closing. Another thing you want to do is you want to help the broker prepare the data room. Leases, amendments, contracts, tax bills, historical financial data that's accurate and clear, the rent roll, photos of the property, invoices for repairs and things that are CapEx. If you want serious buyers, you want to respect their time and show that you're serious as well. Anything to remove the friction to get to closing is imperative. Tour the property with the broker. Have the broker walk the neighborhood to understand the market dynamics. When you're reviewing the broker opinion of value, you got to be realistic about pricing. It's 2024, it's not 2022. A new inexperienced broker will agree to your 4-cap pricing and it will sit for a year or never sell. A strong broker is going to turn you down and not take the listing if your pricing expectations are garbage, right? They're not going to paint you a rosy picture. They're going to be very realistic about what's going on in the market, show you some comps that were from before 2022. And if you're lucky, some recent comps to kind of show that pricing expectations have adjusted. Now, if you want the best pricing, fix the stuff you've been putting off, right? That leaky faucet, that back part of the wall that needs to be repainted, and talk to your tenants who have leases expiring. Get those extensions or renewals early. It helps the buyer with their financing and it helps you stick to your guns about your selling price. Now, if you're in a situation where you just want out of the property, don't fix stuff. Don't extend those leases, but adjust your pricing expectations. This leaves some meat on the bone for the next owner to create value on their investment. One thing that I find is very important is instead of actual purchase contracts, have your brokers start with LOIs outlining the buyer's terms. Some will want a long due diligence period. If that's a problem, you say no. This helps reduce wasted time and 10 versions of a contract with 10 different amendments. And once you agree, there'll be one clean contract that everyone signs. Escrow and title will thank you, and you will thank yourself because as time passes, you'll forget about what you agreed to. And having that one clean contract will make a world of difference. You need to cooperate. Good buyers will visit the property a few times and ask a ton of questions. And you got to be strategic. Inexperienced sellers often fall into the trap of assuming lease renewals will proceed without a hitch, only to face a rude awakening when those plans fall apart and there's no contingency plan, causing the property value to plummet. Even more frustrating, tenants frequently can seize that chance during a property sale to renegotiate their lease terms. So they're sensing the landlord's urgency for renewal. So it's a scenario that plays out far too often, and it catches sellers off guard and impacts their bottom line significantly. Selling is not a fast process. You've got a lot of frogs to kiss. Buyers will lock up the property and then not be able to raise the capital, or they don't qualify for the loan. And this is the process. You have to be patient. Interviewing brokers is very important. Anyone that doesn't have an established broker they like needs to be asking for referrals or looking for who the established people are in their region. And even if you choose, the newbie from that team, at least you know that they've got a support system around them to make sure that your property is being marketed properly. A bad broker will lead to a bad deal or a deal that dies halfway through. A good broker, he's real on price, doesn't try to give you a rosy view, and knows the market very well. A broker walk doesn't mean that they can see through walls, and sellers constantly get hit for a pricing retrade because the elevator needs work, or there's open violations on the fire alarm system or the fire sprinkler, and then they get upset because the retrade price doesn't align with the broker opinion of value. So be prepared, assuming that the work was not necessary. You have to be able to look in the mirror and be true to yourself about what's really going on in that property. Naive sellers also can assume a lease renewal will happen and then they get sticker shock when it falls through. So these are just some basics that will help you be prepared when you're looking to hire a commercial broker, as well as really understanding the process. It is very much hands-on. It is not a passive activity. And hopefully you'll be able to get the price that you're looking for, even in a tough market like this. Thanks for watching Profit or Pitfall. We'll look forward to seeing you soon.